Hey, this is Gene. I want to thank those who responded to my last video, even the ones that didn't really watch the video and still think that I'm just trying to get some of the fame out of responding to Mark. Uh, Nobody ever really disputes or has any say about what I have to say in the video. It's just like they're thinking, I just want to get more subscribers because I put Mark Goldbridge in the title. Well, I'm responding to him. So, oh, the guy said, just don't put his name in there. I do what I want to do on my channel. So, and I want to have this discussion. A lot of people don't want to have this discussion. They didn't want to have it 18 months ago, but this all came out. They wanted to hang him basically at that point without any really evidence other than what we heard on the audio and the pictures and the small video that I just recently found. Doesn't change my opinion about it yet. I still think we have to wait. I still think that the club has done exactly what it's supposed to do, regardless of what people in the media or Mark Garbage thinks. So this video is not about that. I said I don't really want to talk about this anymore until we know about it. I probably won't have any comments on this affair until Mason and his girlfriend or wife or whatever she's going to be sits down with the media at some point and talk about this. I think that that's the fairest thing to do. If he doesn't do it, anybody can say what they want to say about him at this point. He needs to put himself out there and take whatever the issue is, and listen and talk about it. And then after that, we can have a discussion about that and whether or not you believe what he has to say, whatever it's going to be, or if she comes out and says basically defends him the entire time, will we actually believe her at that time? So I want to talk about the game tomorrow, what I think the starting lineup will be, um, and what I actually think about the 3-1-6. I'm not a big fan of it at this point. I'm not sure that Casemiro can play it. I understand why the gaffer wants to do it this way. That's just how he wants to teach us, or the new type of play that we have. And I mean, I watched pretty much all the preseason. I didn't see them use it this much. I didn't remember seeing the left back or the right back being so inverted, always almost in the midfield. Um, Maybe I just didn't see it, but it was so obvious in that game. And I think that uh, Ten Hag thought because it was Wolves that we can get away with it. People forget how good, even with the players that didn't have, they're very good on the ball. It's not the old Wolves, or just you throw the ball down the field and they use their head to try to get. It's not Burnley of the old times. This is a very good footballing side that just doesn't score a lot of goals. If they had a real number 9, they wouldn't have any problems staying up. And from what I saw against them, again, the teams that are going to play them are not going to play that same formation. So I think that he used it as the opening game, that he wanted to use this formation and see how it works in the Premiership. I do not think we're going to see that. We're going to get a normal 4-4-3 or 4-3-3, excuse me. You might see some remnants of that. You might see Shaw and Wan-Bissaka get more inverted, but they're not going to leave Casemiro all by himself. And there are a lot of people who've been talking about who's at fault for this. I mean, to me, it's the coach. He sends him out with the tactics, and we didn't really see any change after halftime. I mean, we were pretty much outplayed the second half as well. And it's like a lot of people don't know what they're supposed to do. That's also on the coach. And for years, I've been saying the players have to be responsible. But that game, we're very, 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 very fortunate we got 3 points. Um, the penalty, I think that it was fair. I thought at the time, I don't think there was anything there. Um, but if we got lucky, then we got lucky. I mean, on the day, Wolves probably should have got something out of it. But this is how it works in the Premiership. We could dominate a team and then lose it at the end. It happens all the time. As far as Spurs, I watched their game against, was it Brentford? Yeah, it's a good game. But that kind of concerning if you're a Spurs fan that you're playing a good game against them when you hope to be in the top six. So I think they're probably similar as far as where they're going to finish this year. Spurs just not have enough to get in the top 6 or 8 probably. Um, I always like Spurs. They're like my second or third team that I've always watched because I like the way they play. And I'm talking about way back, the Spurs, when they had their own way of they played, and everybody liked how they played, and that kind of always continued on. Even the years that we always beat them, the times that they were very good teams, but we always found a way to beat them. Um, there were a lot of great players that played at Spurs, and one of them came here and helped us get the treble. So I have no real issue with Spurs. I think that I wouldn't be disappointed if they win a trophy this year, like a League Cup or something like that. I think their fans deserve it, and I like the way they play. So, but we can't do that around a team that's got Song or even the other players without Kane. They can score goals, and they showed it. So they can't have Casemiro by himself in the middle when we're all pushing up into the middle there, well above him, and he goes back and try to defend it. And people say that he's too far up. That might be true. He might not be doing what he's supposed to do. Maybe our back four is not pushing all the way up. I guess when they actually do the three, that's Martinez or Lindelof, and then you got Varane and you got Wan-Bissaka, and then you got Shaw getting in the midfield, and also even Wan-Bissaka does that as well. So it gets really convoluted. I think players are forgetting where they need to be, and I think that because again, people need to talk to me in the comments. Did you see this formation really showed in the preseason? Of course, we didn't always have all the players together, so that might have been the issue as well. And I know this is what he wants to play, but I don't know if he can do that in a league like the Premiership. But we'll see. I do not believe we're going to play that same way. Maybe a variation of that. I think it's going to be a 4-3-3. And maybe at times in the game we'll go to back three if we need to get a goal or something like that. I don't think you change really anything other on is whether Garnacho starts and if Sancho comes in. Now it's possible now that they put Sancho in the false nine, allow Marcus to go to the left, and then you can still keep Garnacho in. So in that case, who do we lose? We lose Anthony? Yeah. I don't know. It might happen. You might have, how do we actually play it? Because Garnacho played it. He was on the left. I mean, he can play on the right. They all can play on the right. It'll be interesting because Anthony's his boy, so it's possible that Garnacho will sit on the bench and come in, and which he probably should do it anyway. Ole did it forever. There's no reason why he can't come in. He got kind of like physically handled in that game, but he still tried. He still went forward. He still tried to do what he had to do. So fair play to him. And Ronaldo had shit like that too. Before he kind of bulked up and became more of a man and stuff, he had issues as well. And he was beaten up quite a bit more than that. Back in that age of the Premiership, you could still kill people almost on the field. Yes, he dived, but he still got a lot of hits to him. You look at like Grealish goes down every time he gets touched. Ronaldo got it worse. I'm sure that he led the league in being fouled some of those years. So I'm going to say this: the same, basically the back five. Obviously, Onana's going to be there. Of course, he had a good game. Iffy on what he did at the end. He didn't really trust his defense, so he came out and did what he did. But he had a good game. And Shaw's going to be in there, although I think he played very poorly. I think the last 20 minutes he played okay, and he also, he stopped things, but he also got he got burned a couple times. Martinez, if he's fit, will be there. I think Lindelof played well. We got to keep him, of course. Varane will be there, and Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka. Um, it's possible he'll put him below. It's very possible, even though Wan-Bissaka played well as well. Casemiro will be there. He needs it. He needs the time in his legs so he get back to his best. He's one of those players that has to have a lot of time in his legs in the early season. Every time he's not playing for a while, he's not the same player. So he needs to be doing there. Mount should stay in. I think Bruno should be in. It's just a very difficult thing because Bruno is a different type of player than Mount. Even though they're basically the same, playing the same position, they're both eights, trying to play there in front of Casemiro, and they're different type of players. I think Mountain had an understated game. I really think he did, especially in the first half. He came back, stopped things from happening. His final ball wasn't that good, and his control was not as good. But his endeavor, same players that we would say like Fred or McTominay, the same type of thing. We think, based on his history, that Mount is a better skilled player than those two players. We'll see. But I think they're going to play him. You're not going to put him on the bench because not only the fact that he's got a 7 on his back, not that I think Ten Hag is going to care, but he also has to be involved in the team and understand everything. So there's this cooperation, synergy, I can't say the word. And then up front, it's going to be probably, I think Sancho's going to play the false 9. I think that Marcus is not a 9. He's just not. I guess it's probably going to be Anthony, and then it's going to be Marcus. And it's going to be an interesting game. I think it's going to be tight. I like our defense. If we just don't get run over in the midfield, I think we'll be fine. I think we'll win 2-1. It's very possible that we'll be up and they might score at the end, and we'll have to be, bricking at the end. It wouldn't be shocking to me that about 70 minutes in, if we're winning, or even if we're not, that Sancho might go to the bench, and you bring in Garnacho, and Rashford goes to the 9. Or you might take out a midfielder and put in Garnacho, and then we have like 4 players that are basically attackers, which we used to do in the old days. Remember the days when we were losing, like in 2007 and 2008, we'd have 4 strikers on at the same time. We were just so deadly back then. And how we really lost any games against teams that were not at our level, it's almost shocking to me at some times. It just shows how good the league is, and it has been for a while. So I'm going to say 2-1, and my player of the match will be Casemiro. I think he's going to come back. He's going to have a great game. Goal scorers, I'm going to say Sancho and Mount. I think if Mount gets a goal, I think that all the pressure will be off of him. During preseason, he had a couple chances that I think I probably could have put in. Of course, I'd have to be in position. But just say I was in position, I think that I could have probably got him in. So I think he needs that. Like I said, I still like his endeavor, right? He's smaller than I thought he was. And that the thing is that when I was watching that game, the way that Chelsea plays and how we play, it's totally different. All their players are really good on the ball, and those type of tactics and how they play really fit Mount. Our team wants to hold on to the ball a little too much and not pass as fast as we should. And I think when that happens, he thinks too much, and I think a lot of players think too much before they actually play the ball. And then we put ourselves in trouble. But again, it's the first game. We got 3 points. Nobody really got hurt. It'll be interesting to see how it goes. We always play somewhat well against Spurs. We usually win against them. Last year, being up 2-0 and not winning, that sucked because it almost tried to stop our top four finishes. But we have a chance to win it. Um, we just got to get better. We got to, in a couple of games, we're going to see Arsenal. And right now, just looking at how they played, how we played, I think it's clear who's the better team. Doesn't mean we can't beat them. But I'll stop right here. Let me know your predictions. Who do you think should be in the top 11 or starting 11? Any surprises that you might put in there? Just let me know. We'll talk about it in the comments. And you have a great weekend. And let's hope that we get the jobs done down in London. You guys have a good day.